Well, thanks Lisa, thanks Ben. What a fantastic turnout, nearly standing room only. We had to move in there to make sure that people could come in. And I know that people are attending during the course of the day, so I think this is going to be an event that's certainly worthy of the effort that people have put into organising. So, firstly, solidarity from Unite, a very proud trade union, been at the forefront of a number of struggles, certainly over the course of the last month or so. So I'm very proud to be here speaking to you today on behalf of Unite. Also as a member of our party, of course, in Lewisham, in South London, and as the co-chair of the National People's Assembly as well. A coalition developed from the political necessity, really, for a united movement, fighting back and organising mass mobilisation against the austerity and, of course, the most ideologically driven, the most damaging government that we've seen in over a generation. And, of course, this, colleagues, is a fight back that Labour needs to be at the forefront and the heart of. And in that respect, it's been an interesting month, hasn't it? Not just for us, but in terms of what Ed and others within the party have been saying. Banning zero-hours contracts, abolishing the bedroom tax, ensuring tax justice, supporting the living wage, scrapping ATOS. Only a government that couldn't give a toss would be supporting the concept of ATOS, of course. Building 1 million new homes. Introducing rent controls. Ed's spoken about rent controls already. Reclaiming land banks. Capping energy prices. Creating decent jobs and apprenticeships for our young people. All of this is being said, of course, and it's a lot of good words, but of course it's going to take more than statements of intent if we're going to re-engage people with Labour. If we're going to re-engage the 5 million lost voters since the election in 2010. To do that, we're going to have to inspire a generation. And if we're going to inspire a generation, we need to do a number of things. And most importantly, we need to stand up. We need to stand up for the vulnerable, for the sick, for the disabled, for those in work and those out of work, for our families and, of course, for our communities. For the 3.5 million children living in poverty here in the UK today, 1.6 million in severe poverty, in families at work earning less than £15,000 a year. We're going to have to stand up for the 5 million people on waiting lists for a home, the hundreds of thousands of people forced each week into the hands of food banks, the only banks serving any constructive purpose within society right now, or of course the hands of the legal loan sharks, those that claim respectability now because they've got shop fronts on high streets. For the millions of working people that have suffered a decline in living standards we haven't seen for 140 years since, as Owen rightly said earlier, since Queen Victoria was on the throne. And if we're going to do that, if we're really going to stand up, we need to do a number of things. And firstly, we have to reject the self-defeating economics of austerity. We need to reject the spending caps and the priorities of the Tories, and we need to rebuild our nation based on Labour's values and priorities, not on profits. And we can do that. We've done it before. We're the 7th richest nation on this planet. The 7th richest nation on this planet. And while CEOs' pay now averages £4.3 million a year, we have 5 million people at work in our country earning less than the living wage. And for the first time in its history, Save the Children are raising money to protect children here at home in Britain. Well, we're very clear about this, and I'm very clear about this, that if we can even consider war on Syria, then we can afford to wage war on a number of things. And I'll wage war on poverty, on homelessness, on unemployment, on food banks and loan sharks, on tax avoidance, and a whole host of other things. If we want an agenda for Labour to win, a bold and radical agenda for Labour to win in 2015, we can put our people back to work. We can invest in our infrastructure and build the millions of social homes. Social homes, not affordable homes, affordable for who? Social homes that we so desperately need in our country. We can, colleagues, end the abuse of housing benefits being taken by rich landlords to introduce rent controls and put that cap on energy prices. We can end the misuse of taxpayers' money subsidising low pay through tax credits for profitable private sector companies. We can and we must introduce a living wage to millions who work and provide dignity for those that can't. We can and we must support collective bargaining and introduce new collective rights for trade unions to be able to organise and strike effectively to redistribute the wealth across society that we create within it. And we can and we must bring under public control our railways, our energy companies, our housing stock, our postal and our water services. And we can end the privatisation of our health service and the education of our children. And we can and we must do all of that. And of course the enemy to this is Eton's finest. Not just Eton's finest though, we have to say some of those neoliberalists within our own ranks, within the party as well. Ideologically driven to destroy everything that we hold so dear within our society today, the very fabric of our society. But you know, we have no God-given rights to anything. This assembly, our movement, walks in the footsteps of those who organised, who struck, who protested, who fought, and sometimes died for what we take for granted at our peril right now. The Chartists and the suffragettes, millions of campaigners and protesters, the trade unionists, the millions of brave men and women who fought to defeat the evils of fascism and build a better, fairer society on their return from the trenches in the 1940s. A proud tradition of fighters, from the civil rights movement to stop the war. And this is our challenge, colleagues, to organise and fight, to reject the language of division and offer hope to a generation. So the fight's on. It's our fight and it's Labour's fight. And whatever our opponents might say, I know this is coming up in a discussion later this afternoon, but I'm going to say it right here now, we'll proudly hold to account whoever it might be that strives to attack and sack decent men and women, wherever that might be across our nations. And our collective relationship with the party, our party, is not for sale. It's not for sale today, tomorrow, next week, next year, not never. Colleagues, be proud. Be proud of our values of solidarity, community, dignity, fairness and justice, because they're the values that make Britain great. They're the values that built the society that we hold at our peril right now, and get involved. Get involved, organise, take control of our party, take control of our society, but most importantly, colleagues, stand up. Stand up for those that can't stand up for themselves. Stand up with those that can. Solidarity, colleagues.